Welcome to On Record. Good evening, friends and viewers. Today we are here to discuss about the exit poll results that is being published since yesterday evening 6:30 p.m. and state by state and for division by division and for constituency by constituency, the exit poll results are being published by many institutions clubbed with many mainstream medias. But the social media or the independent media is giving a different projection about the issues. Today we have uh, Teesta and Navin Kumar with us. We can discuss with them. Navin, let me start with you. You have published a video about the exit polls. How do you see the exit poll results? Because yesterday I have been receiving so many calls and messages that is India is going to lose that much? Is NDA is going to gain that much? They are going to achieve their goal of 400 bar. What's going to happen? And it is creating a very pathetic situation, and people are worried about the results. How do you see that?
Thank you so much, Indra. In fact, like any other citizen, I was also eagerly waiting for exit poll results. And after I closely followed every exit poll, and since yesterday I am following till now.
Mm,
But it is not question of India or NDA or BJP or Congress party. It
mm,
is question of credibility and credential of exit poll. It is question on process of election commission. It is question on electoral process. So let's start from Uttar Pradesh. They are saying that BJP alliance is gaining even more than 2014. So they are
mm,
almost reaching towards 2014. I have
mm,
been in Uttar Pradesh for a long time, and I have seen on ground that people are reacting against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. They are not so much anxious about Yogi Adityanath, but they are worried of Narendra Modi. And
mm,
only one question was prevailing after two phases of election, and that was constitution and that was reservation. Especially in North India, whole election was being fought on these two issues. Prime Minister Narendra Modi tried every bit to take election on Hindu Muslim, on Mandir Masjid, on Mangal Sutra, on uh, water tap, but he could not succeed. And
mm,
after then, even in two interviews, he said that Muslims have been very close to me in my childhood days, and I used to go in Tajia. It was
mm,
not uh, 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 an accident when he said that I was used to go to Tajia, and I have been part of procession of Muslim community. Narendra Modi certainly realized that he's going to lose this election. And not only Muslim, but liberal people, young people, farmers, women are voting against him. I am
mm.
saying against him and not BJP.
Okay.
It is reality that people are not so much angry from BJP, but they are reactionary of Narendra Modi. They don't want him in power, and there are
Okay.
so many reasons behind this. So it is, as per question is concerned of exit poll, it is certainly questionable.
Mm,
No one will believe on this exit
mm,
poll. This is not exit poll. This is pamphlet of Bharatiya Janata Party. This is pamphlet of so-called electoral approach of Bharatiya Janata Party in initial days of Ki Bar 400 par. So
mm.
every exit poll has tried to justify only that figure.
Okay. Teesta ma'am, I want to ask you this question. If journalists like us can understand the situation that is prevailing in the ground, why can't the mainstream media are not realizing that, and why they have to publish that kind of results in their medias? Why can't they publish their original results or the original ground feedback to the media?
Thank you very, very much, firstly, for having me on your channel, Indrakumar. I just want to point out that and request you first don't use the word mainstream media for them. They're
Okay.
commercial media. They're commercial corporate media. Okay, I think that's what we should call them. They're no more the mainstream media. I think independent media is really the real independent mainstream media. Just want to point out something small. It was pointed to me by another senior journalist recently. Economic Times, which is known as the pink press, the pink pages of and I think this government and this regime and the whole ruling classes love to go by the pink media. There was a very interesting interview by none less than Mark, Matthew, Julius Baer, and they are very
Yes.
big names in the mutual funds market, in the financial market, etc. And this was very recent, just 2 or 3 days ago. And in answer to the first question that the financial journalist put to them, that are they happy with the situation, business, prospects, and all, they very confidently said, and I'll quote, that everything is, of course, contingent on how much BJP will get, etc., etc. Market is very comfortable with the government, etc. But that's all right. Listen to this. A very fresh read of the votes at the exit poll stations gives us a lot of hope. I believe these pollsters have gotten wind of it by now, and they are all in the employ of fund managers. And fund managers would have been selling. Now, what does this tell us? How much money has gone in and out of the market in the last week or month? I'm not a financial person, I'm very bad at it. But staggering figures, 50,000 crores, huge numbers of figures are being thrown at us. So let's be very, very clear. I'm no confusion in my mind that apart from the technical infirmity behind the exit polls, which is the lack of sample size in a country as vast and diverse as India, a very, very esteemed jurists like Justice P.B. Sawant and all have asked for a ban on exit polls because they go against the principle of free and fair elections. And I'll come to that in a minute. But I think more importantly, I think they are a mind game. They are part of a mind game that this government is playing. And this government, Modi government, and I agree with Navin there, that it's not the BJP government so much. We've had a BJP government in the past. It might have been ideologically problematic at many levels, but this is a different scale altogether. This is, a complete loot of public resources to private capital, a social, political right, etc., coming together. So the mind game that this government has played with propaganda, WhatsApp University, etc., and generated a lot of divisiveness in society, same mind game is being played with exit polls. Just let's think about 2 weeks back, 3 weeks back, 1 week back. The narrative that was set in the election. And I believe that, yes, we have to admit that the India alliance had something to do with it. After all, they are the political opposition. But the people of India also had a lot of role to play in this narrative, which is why we keep hearing ye Janta or Modi ke khilaf chunav, that this is an election of the people versus the regime. And, I've experienced this once before in my life. I'm much older than both of you. But when I was 16 and a half and the 1977 elections were called, and I was told by my father and mother that just forget about your standard 10 exams and just go out there and campaign to get this government out. And, that was also an autocratic government. But there was a difference. This is ideologically autocratic and completely corporatized. And institutionally, there was no suspicion in 77 about the Election Commission.
Okay.
No one had any doubt at all that the Election Commission would function fairly, even though we wanted the Congress out and the Janata Party in. So my point is, absence of trust and faith in the Election Commission is an all-time low. That's because the government has defied the dictates of the Supreme Court and appointed a commission that's completely non-autonomous. It's completely a kind of a extension of the government arm of this government, and therefore there's a fear. So then the mind game they're playing is that now it's not likely to be fair. Now the elections won't be held fairly. Election agents have you yourself told me about Tamil Nadu. I was talking to a minister a little bit. Postal ballots are always counted first, and then the other counting starts. Correct me if I'm wrong, Navi. Now suddenly the Election Commission has brought an executive decree in last year. I quote Mr. Sibbil on this, going against the conduct of rules, saying that any time during the day you can count a postal. So you want to generate confusion in the counting center. Now the counting center is one center where there are 96 counting agents per candidate in a parliamentary election. If there are 2 candidates, there'll be 96 plus 2 plus the official. So it's going to be a very busy place, a confused place. If things do not happen systematically by the book, it can generate confusion and a lot of insecurity. So the exit polls are nothing short of this mind game. And I think we need to call this mind game out. I'm very clear, just like Navin is saying about Uttar Pradesh. I'm very clear about 3 or 4 other states: Karnataka, Maharashtra,
mm,
Bengal.
mm.
Very, very clear.
About Karnataka, every poll we can take, all of them are saying that 23 to 25.
Every
Yes,
exit poll.
every exit poll is saying that the BJP is surely going to win 23 to 25, and the
That's
Congress
why
will be intimidated to 2 at 5.
that's why I brought up Karnataka first. I think there's been another poll by Edina which gives
Mm,
minimum 12 to 15 seats to the Congress and maybe up to even 20. But I'm saying
mm,
conservatively, even 10 to
mm,
12 seats will definitely come for the Congress from Karnataka.
mm,
That is what I feel. Bengal is very interesting because
mm.
I want to mention another technical infirmity. Yesterday, how many states went to the polls? 4 or 5. 4 or 5 states went to the polls, and
Yes,
57
yes.
seats were
Yes.
people were voting in 50. Bengal was one of them. Punjab, Haryana, UP,
Uttar
and I
Pradesh,
think
Bihar.
and Bihar. Correct. Now you tell me, 6 o'clock, 6:30 is the last polling because polling spills over, and by
Mm,
7 p.m. you have already a poll on Bengal. I mean, I was talking to some of the TMC leadership. They were appalled. They said our polling is almost still going on and the exit poll is coming out. So, what
mm,
sort of exit poll is this? Then you
mm,
have a lot of screenshots on Twitter,
mm,
including our Aaj Tak in India Today. Prestigious quote unquote channels. I don't think they're that prestigious, but I'm just saying. Where the total seats in that state are 10 and they're saying there are 13 seats this thing. So, I mean, these screenshots are all over social media for you to see and share. Quote unquote well known commercial channels have been in such a hurry to go by a certain book that the exit polls have lost credibility. You have created confusion, you've generated anxiety, and I think this is not what the media should be doing. The media should be encouraging debate, encouraging healthy discourse, not generating this level of anxiety and anger among the people, which is being created by these exit polls. So I think it is a serious, serious problem. And I don't want to quote figures in Bengal and Karnataka, in Maharashtra, but there's one local poll called the Rudra poll, which is giving 36 to 38 seats to the MVA. But I'm
mm,
saying, coming from Maharashtra, that minimum 24, 25, up to
mm,
32 is what the MVA is going to get. So, I mean, and we're not just talking, and we've covered, in the conventional way, I've covered constituencies. I remember covering the Datta Samant election in 86, 87, the first Labour leader who entered the parliament after Dange from my state. And I remember South Central, big constituency, going around and very gingerly predicting in the Indian Express that I think he's going to win. Because I
mm,
felt that surge was there, but you were still careful about writing it.
mm.
But now just look at the way these things are predicted.
Okay. Navin, what about the predictions of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar? They are saying that the 2014 is going to repeat. Is it so? How do you see the difference? You said that constitution and reservation played a very crucial role in the election process. Uh, Constitution and reservation, these two are more intellectual than being popular. How that became the electoral agenda, and how it affected the voting.
No, I don't agree with you, Indra. In
Okay.
Uttar Pradesh, particularly in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, Dalits think that constitution is their property. Baba
Okay.
Sahab is their property, and no one
Okay.
can snatch this constitution from them. So
Mm.
this is not issue of so-called elite or middle class. This is
Uh,
issue of very very grassroots voter
mm.
in village who live in village, and only he votes and he fights for vote. So it was completely altogether a different election. I saw first time in my life. I have seen
Mm.
so many elections. First time in my life that dedicated voter of Mayawati ji and I will say Jata voters, they voted for Gathbandhan. They
Okay.
voted for India Alliance. Why? Because they think that no, this time we have to save constitution. Saving constitution is not like saving a book or saving some rules. They think that saving constitution is saving Baba Sahib. So
mm,
it was very particularly revealed to grassroots worker and voter. Let's come to
okay.
Bihar. In Bihar, it was converted into upper caste versus Dalit OBC minority.
Mm,
This was very clear on ground. Yadav voter was united behind Tejasvi Yadav and Lalu Yadav. Dalit voters were united behind Communist
Mhm.
Party, CPI, ML, and even Lalu Yadav's Rashtriya Janata Dal. There is a vote bank, certain vote bank of Congress Party, Nishad, Nishad Party, VIP. There is a big chunk of Nishad, and it was united behind Tejasvi Yadav. So I
mm,
will not be surprised if some big leaders of NDA lose.
okay.
Suppose Upendra Kushwaha, he is very big leader of Kushwaha community, a large chunk of OBC community after Yadavas. So Upendra Kushwaha on Karakat constituency polling was yesterday. So he is not confident about winning.
Mhm.
He is biggest leader of
Okay.
Kushwaha community. If he is
Okay.
not confident of winning, if Chirag Paswan is not confident of winning, if Giriraj
Mm,
Singh is not confident of winning from Begusarai, then it is looks like a joke that you are saying that only 7 seats are coming for
mm,
RJD, Congress Party, Nishad, and CPI-ML, CPI alliance. It is
mm.
not going to happen. I will not believe on this exit poll, result of exit poll, till last vote is counted. I will go
Okay.
by counting, and I know that. And another thing, if this is going to happen, what has been revealed in exit polls, then not only me, but crores of people like me will question on whole electoral process.
Yes.
You will have to save it. It is not a matter of party, it is not a matter of alliance, it is matter of trust and belief and electoral process and constitution in democratic process in secular credential, and we
Mm,
will have to go by this. So
okay.
I'm not going by the any whether they are giving some more seats to India Alliance or RJD or Congress Party. I'm not also going by them. I will
Mm.
believe only on final result.
Okay, but the final result, it has also become questionable nowadays, because in the previous election we have seen that the people will be waiting for the verdict and everyone is will be ready to accept the.
It has been accused that many district magistrates have been called by
Yes.
By the
certain
Home
people.
Minister. By the Home
Yes,
Minister.
and they have been almost threatened.
Mm,
Is it normal? Is it natural? Does it happen after every election? No. Then where this election is leading, we
mm.
can think of this. And it is not normal process. Something is fishy, and we know that it's fishy.
Okay. So the caretaker government is becoming over-caring government, and we can simply see that they are giving extension to the army general and some other officers. The election officers of many districts are giving some rules and regulations that have not been seen for the 75 years of independence. And there are some constituencies where the electoral officer is announcing that the booth agents of the parties are will not be allowed inside the table room. So how we are going to deal with the results and the counting process? Today, Kargi also wrote to the election commission, and we are also discussing on the same thing. How we are going to take the result? Are we going to accept whatever the result they give? Are we going to believe the verdict, whatever the election commission is going to announce?
Indrakumar, if we say that this is the second freedom struggle, if we say that it's a battle to save the constitution, if we call this regime a proto-fascist regime or authoritarian regime, then they believe in subverting all the processes that have been set in place. However tuta puta they've been, however not imperfect they have been. Okay, we know it's never been perfect before 2014, but we were still a democracy in the making. So it'll be a fight every inch of the way. And I think we should watch that fight, wait for the fight. People are prepared for it. And I'm repeating on your channel that please don't take this as an instigation. Fighting is fighting democratically. putting in objections, making sure every round is counted properly. The counting agents are being trained repeatedly by the India opposition. I have not seen such hyperactivity in the opposition for a long time. They were extremely laid back earlier.
mm,
Now they are trying to become alert, and I think they've become alert. So I think let's just wait and see. But I do agree with Naveen that this is not just an election between the political parties and the regime. People have a lot at stake. The most downtrodden, the most marginalized have realized that if this government comes back to power, their very essence of their existence is in danger. Their dignity is in
mm,
danger. Their livelihood is in danger. And therefore, I think it is all the people of India who are watching. And therefore, we've started this campaign that the voters' will must prevail. The mandate cannot be snatched away by illegal means. And I think it's left to everybody to play their roles in this. It's left to the
mm.
media, independent media. It's left to everybody to play their own roles in this. Let's not beg the question as to what will happen. Let's just believe that every inch of the way we have to fight to preserve what we've got.
There is only one submission with Teesta. Uh, some proactive approach is needed from opposition bloc. And Tamil Nadu example may be a torch. They collected Form 17C. They have asked their booth agents that match it with the ballot box and then clear it that everything is all right. I think every party must have adopted this earlier, but it has not happened. But on polling station, every agent must be attentive, citizens must be attentive, political leaders must be attentive, and we should ensure in our own capacity, at least as a citizen, that every vote is being counted fairly.
So that is why, Naveen, some of us have stepped out of just our role as just journalists or just activists who are committed to human rights, and we've become involved in this whole national movement to try and make voters aware, to make the opposition aware, etc. Obviously, it's not been perfect, but we've been trying very hard. And many of us across South India, North, East, West, have been getting in touch with the opposition parties at the local, national, and state levels and saying, so today I had a long discussion with the Shiv Sena, with the Congress party in Maharashtra, with the TMC yesterday. Basically, and all of us were sure that 80-85% of their 70C forms are in order. A little bit here and there, they're trying to put into place by tomorrow. They have met the state election commissioners, they're meeting the central election commissioner. But I agree with you. More vigil, the better. We cannot take for granted. We need to push because they had stopped doing this. The opposition parties just believe that everything will be okay, that everything will be fair. They have taken this regime very lightly. And they've also started fighting the battle very late. I wish they had started this battle in 2016 or 2017, the way they fought the last 6 months or 9 months. But anyway, we have what we have. So now that they're fighting it now, I think I just hope that the institutions kick in. And it's not just the Election Commission. We are also looking with hope at the Supreme Court of India
Mm,
and the President of India. And we have
mm.
huge respect and admiration that we have a woman Adivasi president. And therefore, I think it's very important that all the institutions that may be needed in a crisis are alert and go by the constitutional mandate.
Course. We believe in the constitution, and we also believe in the institutions that are still independent, and still they could be able to do something to save this democracy. And let's wait for the result and what the people are doing. Let's see on June 4th. Thank you, Teesta ma'am, and thank you, Navin bro, for joining us and having this discussion. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you so much, Indra.
Thank you. Thank you.